Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the Wizard of Odd 777. We are back dropping our second power rankings video this week. We are heading into week 12. Big week. It's Thanksgiving football week. Big marking. It's a big marking point in the NFL season. We're 3/4 of the way through it, almost there, and a lot of stuff to look forward to. Big week coming up. A lot of good football action this week. I'm excited. I'm excited. And I just also want to say I'm so excited to bring this episode to you guys. We got a lot of good stuff coming for y'all. Let's hop right into it. As always, please follow us on Twitter at WizardOfOdd777. We got a lot of good stuff on there. We got a lot of polls. We got our gambling spread on there. A lot of good stuff to look forward to. Definitely worth checking out over there on the Twitter. And please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And here we go, Week 12 Power Rankings. But before we start, I just want to tell you guys, these are not my personal rankings. If they were, this board would look a whole lot different. But it's not my personal rankings. It's actually our personal analytics. So we don't actually make these. And, I got a lot of backlash last week about that by people just like, oh, why isn't this team higher, or isn't this team lower? I just want to clear that up. These are not my personal analytics. No, these are not my personal opinions. These are our personal analytics. All right, so without further ado, let's hop right into it. Coming in at number 32, we got the New York Jets. Big news for them. They get Sam Darnold back. Let's see if they can bounce back and get a dub. Number 31, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be debuting their third quarterback this year with Mike Longneck Glennon, the veteran, coming in. Number 30, we got the Cowboys. They were looking like a whole new team last week against the Vikings. They came in, controlled the tempo, controlled the game, and came out with a good dub. After them, we got the Cincinnati Bengals. Big news for them. They lost Joe Burrow for the season with a torn ACL and torn MCL. Horrible. They got the first overall pick, brought in their guy at quarterback, and he definitely looked like it, and they just didn't have the O-line to protect him. Big key point this offseason should be to strengthen that O-line. You just don't ever want to see that, and they got to do that if they want to win. Coming in at number 28, we got the Detroit Lions. They stank it up versus the Panthers, throwing out that big goose egg. Big week this week for them, Thanksgiving. If they win, their season's still alive. If they don't, I'd look forward to the draft. After them, we got the Washington football team. Almost said the Redskins right there. Can't say that anymore. So the Washington football team coming in next. They got a good win under Alex Smith. Their first one for Alex Smith, and that's good news for him because he just came off that horrible injury. Most people don't make it back from that, but he did. He got his first win from that injury, and that's a big deal. Good for him. Let's see what he can do next week. Coming in after them, we got the New York Football Giants, who are on a bye this week. But let's see if they can keep that win streak going and pick it up in Week 12. Coming in after them, we got the Philadelphia Eagles. They sucked against the Browns. Went through multiple picks again. Did not look like the guy, and they just looked like the Eagles. A horrible team. Coming in at number 24, we got the Denver Broncos, who took care of business against the Dolphins last week. Let's see what they can do this week. Number 23, we got the Houston Texans. I just want to, Watson stepped up. He looked like the quarterback he should be. He finally awoke this season, and his accuracy improved a lot. Great win for them. Let's see what they can do heading forward. Fun fact is that the Dolphins actually own their first round pick. So the Dolphins want them to lose just so they can get a higher pick, but they're finally starting to turn things around. Good for the Texans. Next up, 22, Cleveland Browns. Their defense carried them in that game. I know it was crappy weather. Wentz was just looking like Wentz, but the defense stepped up and forced multiple turnovers. Good for them. Let's see what they can do next week. Number 21, we got the Atlanta Falcons, and that was just poor effort. They couldn't even compete against a backup quarterback. That's how bad they are. They got so much stuff going from on offense, and they just cannot get anything going. Horrible for them. Number 20, we got the New England Patriots. Fun fact, Cam actually threw over 40 passes. He doesn't really do that often, but when he does, the sad part about that is that he doesn't usually win. So let's see what they can do going forward if they want to decide to keep throwing the ball or, let Cam carry the team on his legs. Next up, we got the Vikings. Great effort, but it wasn't enough to ump them for a win over the Cowboys. It was just poor effort by them. And yeah, let's see what they can do coming into next week if they want to keep their season going or if they're just going to turn it around. After them, we got the Chicago Bears, who were on a bye last week. But, the news for them heading into this week is what are they going to do with their quarterback situation? Because Nick Foles is not looking like the guy. And Trubisky's sitting there on the bench wanting some action again. He actually is 3-0 this season. He's winning games. He just wasn't looking too pretty when he did it. Are they going to go back? Are they going to stick with Foles? If they want to make that playoff push, they got to try something. If not, either way, they're going to draft a quarterback in the draft. But they just want to see what they can do this season because they got a great defense, but their offense is horrible. They got to find a quarterback. Someone's got to step up. After them, we got the Titans, and they shut down Lamar this week. It looks like the NFL figured out Lamar. The Titans just took care of business on the 2-game win streak versus them because, they beat him last year in the playoffs and they beat him again this year. It just seems like Lamar cannot get past the Titans. After them, we got the Chargers. Another solid performance from Justin Herbert. I feel like if he keeps that up, keeps playing very consistent, he should be a front runner for the Rookie of the Year. All right, right here, 15, the Panthers. Big news for them. P.J. Walker made his NFL debut coming up from the XFL, he actually won the MVP there. He carried them to a dub. Big deal for him. Got his first dub in the NFL. Really stepped it up. And I wouldn't take him out unless he starts playing bad. Then I'd put Bridgewater back in. But that's just me. Let's see what they can do going forward. After them at 14, you got the Buffalo Bills, who came off a bye. They just had a very sad loss to the Cardinals. That's all I can say. Kyler just threw up that pass, and Hopkins just hopped over all 3 defenders. And personally, I feel like Hoyer could have jumped a little bit higher. But he didn't. And the defense just blew the game, and we got to see what they can do heading into this week. Their defense has to step up. Big week for the Bills. 13, we got the Niners, who are just on a bye. Let's see what they can do heading into this week. 12, we got the Cardinals. Seattle just proved why they're the best team in the NFC West. They just came in, took care of business, shut down the Cardinals. They still put up points, but they controlled them. Bad loss for the Cardinals. After them, you got the Seahawks at number 11. Wilson looks sharp out there. He played pretty consistent. If he keeps that up, he just proves why he should win MVP. Good win for them. Number 10, we got the Vegas Raiders. And they had their sad loss versus the Chiefs. Their defense just blew it last second. Mahomes picked them apart on that final drive, but their defense has to step up if they want to sneak into the playoffs. Number 9, we got the Colts. They handled business versus the Packers on the game of the week, here. And they won that in overtime on that final kick. And, fun fact about that is Rodriguez, the kicker, actually leads the NFL in scoring as a rookie. Good for him. Alrighty, after them, coming in at number 8, we got the Miami Dolphins. And news out of that was that Tua got benched for Fitzmagic on that final drive. Tua wasn't really playing too consistent the whole game, so when it came down to that final drive, they just figured, let's throw Fitzpatrick in there. And he just did not get the job done. He threw the pick. And honestly, I don't understand why they did that because they drafted Tua for situations like that. And he's their franchise guy, and that they didn't let him try and prove himself on that last win, on that last drive. That's very confusing. Most teams don't do that. I don't really know what the Dolphins are doing. I know a lot of people were high on them. They jumped on their bandwagon. Oh, the Dolphins are good. The Dolphins are good. They could make it to the playoffs. They could win the division. But I didn't fall for that. I knew the Dolphins. They're not a super team. The Dolphins are not a super team. They're not unstoppable. They were going to lose at one point, and it just, they had a bad loss, but let's see what they can do going into next week. After them, we got the Ravens. They looked good against the Bucs on Monday night. Their offense looked sharp. Good win for them. The Rams, Number at 6, we got the Green Bay Packers. They had their bad loss on primetime against the Colts. If Rodgers wants to stay in Green Bay, they got to win games like that. Let's see what they can do hopping in next week. Number 5, we got the Baltimore Ravens. And Lamar looks horrible. I don't know what's going on with Lamar. He's coming off his MVP season, and he's just not looking like the same guy. He's barely completing like 60% of his passes. He's on a 2-game losing streak. This week it could be 3. You know, the last time the Ravens did that was with Joe Flacco, and they ended up switching to Lamar and then winning 6 of their last 7. So this would be a big point for them. Just Lamar's got to step up. He's got to step up. And actually, fun fact about that was that he was actually in the Madden cover. So could this be the Madden curse? Could this be the Madden curse in effect? Or did Mahomes break it? Is Lamar going to bring it back? I don't know. That's something to that's something to keep your eye on. A little fun fact right there. Number 4, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, Brady just looked old. He showed his age, threw some bad passes. You know, if they want to make a playoff push and a good playoff run, Brady's got to look sharp out there. Cannot do pass, cannot throw. He cannot have bad games like this. He's stinking up on primetime games. He's got to step up. Number 3, no surprise here. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They handled business against the Jaguars. You know, everyone expected it. Let's see what they can do happening next week. Number 2, we got the Saints. And what surprised me about that was that Taysom Hill looked really good. I had my doubts about him. I feel like he's not a quarterback, but he proved me wrong. He came in and let him do a win. First NFL debut, got that dub. That's a big deal. It doesn't matter if you're Taysom Hill, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Joe Montana. Doesn't matter who you are. A win's a win, and he took care of business. He was like my impact player of the week. He surprised me. Number 1, no surprise here. Hey, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Who would have guessed that, right? But yeah, they had a good win against the the Raiders. Mahomes had that final second touchdown pass to Kelsey. Good win for them. Hopefully they can keep that momentum going forward. And new stuff, we're actually going to go over the biggest changes this week. We're going to start adding that. You know, the biggest change for the slide was the Lions. They actually dropped slick slots. You know, bad for them. If, again, they got a big week coming up. If they win, they're still in the playoff hunt. If they lose, I'd start to focus on the draft. Biggest rise, change of 4. Denver Broncos sliding up to number 24. Again, good win against the almost said the Heat. good win against the Dolphins. And yeah, let's see if they can continue their little win streak. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to slap the like. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and slap that bell for notifications so you can always stay informed of when we drop a new video. You know, we got a lot of good stuff coming. You know, I'm very excited this channel. We're going to start dropping videos every single Wednesday. We got our gambling videos and our odds and our spread. We got our power rankings. And maybe I'll throw in a video or 2 every single Saturday. Just me talking football, some good football action. You know, we got a lot of good stuff looking forward to on this channel. I'm excited going into the future. And I'll see y'all later. And please don't forget to not stop whizzing.